look at another example. Let's factor 38 x to the 4th y to the 9th plus 26 x cubed y to the 10th minus 20 x squared y to the 11th. The first thing we want to do is to get the greatest common factor. The greatest common factor will be the largest number that would divide 38, 26, and 20, and the variables they have in common raised to the smallest exponent. Let's get the number part first. The largest number that would divide 38, 26, and 20 is 2. Notice that all three terms have x's and y's in common. So I'm going to write x, and I'll look for the smallest exponent on the x's. I got x to the 4th, x to the 3rd, x squared. So my smallest exponent on x is 2. Now I'll look for the smallest exponent on y. We have 9, 10, and 11, so my smallest exponent is 9. The common factor is 2x squared y to the 9th. To get my second factor, I divide the polynomial by my greatest common factor. So I take the 38 x to the 4th y to the 9th plus 26 x cubed y to the 10th minus 20 x squared y to the 11th, and I divide it by the common factor, which is 2x squared y to the 9th, which means I take the 38 x to the 4th y to the 9th, divide it by 2x squared y to the 9th, plus the 26 x cubed y to the 10th, divided by 2x squared y to the 9th, minus 20 x squared y to the 11th, divided by 2x squared y to the 9th. Now I'll simply do the division. 2 into 38 is 19. X to the 4th divided by x squared is x squared. Y to the 9th divided by y to the 9th is y to the 0. Plus 13xy. 2 into 26 is 13. X cubed divided by x squared is x. Y to the 10th divided by y to the 9th is 1. Remember, keep the base, subtract the exponents. 3 subtract 2 is 1. 10 subtract 9 is 1. Minus 10. 20 divided by 2 is 10. X to the 0. Y. 11 subtract 9 is 2. So we have 19x squared plus 13xy minus 10y squared. Again, y to the 0 is 1, so 19x squared times 1 is 19x squared. 10 to the 0 is 1, so 10 times 1 is 10. Now don't stop now, because that's not the answer. The answer will be when I put the two factors together. So my answer will be 2x squared y to the 9th times 19x squared plus 13xy minus 10y squared. Again, circle your answer. Let's do another problem and do the division in our head so that it looks much more compact. We want to factor 8x squared y, subtract 4x, plus 32x z to the 8th. Now I need to identify my common factor, the largest number that would divide 8, 4, and 32. Well, the largest number that would divide 8, 4, and 32 is 4. Notice that all three terms have an x in common. If I take x raised to the smallest exponent, it would be x to the first, because I have x squared, x to the first, and x to the first. That's really all they have in common. This one has a y, but the others do not. This one has a z, the others do not. So now to get my second factor, and I said we're going to do the division here in our head, I divide the greatest common factor into each of my three terms. 4x into 8x squared y is going to be 2xy. 4 goes to 8, 2. X squared divided by x will be x to the first, subtract the exponents, and then y. Minus 4 goes into 4, 1. X to the 0. Again, 4 goes into 4, 1. To divide powers having the same base, keep the base, subtract the exponents. 1 subtract 1 is 0. Plus 8, x to 0, z to the 8th. 4 goes into 32, 8. To divide powers having the same base, keep the base, subtract the exponents. 1 subtract 1 is 0, then z to the 8th. Of course, you want to write the answer in a little better form. 4x times 2xy, subtract 1, plus 8z to the 8th. Now it's time for you to do some exercises. Carefully copy these three problems, and when you have copied them, stop the tape and factor, and then restart the tape to check your answers. The first one, 8xy subtract 16x, or 8xy minus 16x. The second one, 44x squared y to the 5th a minus 33x y to the 6th b plus 55x y to the 7th c. The third one, 8x squared minus 16x cubed. It's very important that you do your exercises and check your answers. You should always take this part of the lesson quite seriously. If you are not getting the same answers that I do, then either you've made a mistake or I've made a mistake. If I've made a mistake, then you want to find it and come and tell me. If you've made a mistake, you want to know why, and you want to fix it before you get to your homework. Now let's look at the answers. The answer to the first one is 8x times y minus 2. The second one, 11x y to the 5th times 4xa minus 3yb plus 5y squared c. The answer to the third one, 8x squared times 1 minus 2x.